Thursday Night Football, NBA action. Today is Thursday, December 14th, 2023, and I've got 3 best bets for you. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm bringing down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we try to get to the bag together and make some money. Yesterday, we did see one basket go through the hoop, man. I'm so happy we hit one bet. We've been so cold. We hit a bet. We still didn't have a winning day. 1 and 2 on the day. Cashing on Wemby's points and rebounds. No sweat bet there. We did lose on the Knicks team total. They didn't start getting that offense going until a little late. They were cold in the second quarter or something crazy, but hey, it happens. And then we also lost on the Creighton team total. Was not expecting that. UNLV came out, shot them out the gym. Creighton didn't make any adjustments, which I was really shocked at. I thought at the very least we'd get a full court press. It happens. 1 and 2 on the day. You can see our year-to-date record right here. Still a little bit under 500 in the month of December, but like I said, at least we got 1 win yesterday. Hopefully we can build on that momentum today. Maybe add 2 wins. Maybe even get a sweep. I hope so. I like today's card. I've got 3 best bets on the way for you guys. If you could drop a like on this video, I'd greatly appreciate it. And make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well so you can stay up to date on all the latest picks and plays that we're dropping on the channel. All right, my friends, let's dive into this Thursday Night Football matchup. So we've got Thursday Night Football. We've got another backup quarterback matchup, right? I feel like, have we ever seen this many backup quarterbacks run the league like we've had this year? It's been absolutely crazy. But guess what? We're degenerates. We're betting anyway. We're still going. So you know what? We got a primetime matchup between the Raiders and Chargers. I've got a few best bets in this slate for you. I think today's game is going to be very similar to the Monday Night Football games that we had. And what I mean by that is, I was on the unders in those Monday Night Football games. And guess what? Both of those games went over. I think tonight's game actually goes over. Now, that's not my pick and play. I'm just giving you my personal opinion on what happened in tonight's game because I think everybody's on the under, obviously based on the injuries, the availability, but I think this could be a game that actually has a chance to go over. But hey, what do I know, right? So because I'm not taking the total, one person that I do think that is going to be relied on pretty heavily in tonight's matchup is the Raiders quarterback, Aiden O'Connell. And because of that, I'm going to go with his pass attempts over 30.5 at plus 100 money. So let's double our money today. 30.5 pass attempts is the best bet with QB Aiden O'Connell for the Raiders. Now, the big question marks around this Raiders team is going to be based on if Josh Jacobs is playing or not. He's questionable with the groin injury. Then Devontae Adams is also questionable with an illness. So if those 2 guys don't play, you could probably actually get this at a cheaper number, especially if Jacobs doesn't play. Because if Jacobs does play, then his rushing line or his attempts line is going to be at least 17.5 because they feed him the ball pretty heavily. But with no Josh Jacobs, no Devontae Adams, that's going to be a big hit for this team. I do think that Devontae Adams does play, but we do have to wait on the injury news, so make sure you guys are paying attention to that. But if this number does get bumped down to 29.5, 28.5, I still like it. I still think he goes over this total. The Chargers have the 3rd worst pass defense in the NFL. They absolutely suck. They're giving up over 260 yards per game, and the Raiders know that. That's exactly how they're going to be able to exploit this Chargers defense. Now, it's really hard to run this Raiders team because you've got Khalil Mack there, you've got one of the Bosa brothers there. So because of that, it makes it a little tough for them to run, but throwing the ball is where the advantage lies. O'Connell, he's gone over this total in 3 straight games, and in his last game against the Chargers earlier this year in October, he threw it 39 times for 238 yards. His passing yards is at 204. I do like that as well. But when I think about the full game and how it's going to go, the Chargers might be winning this game, so that might mean that they have to throw the ball. Easton Stick, he's going for the Chargers, the quarterback, right? The backup quarterback there, he's going for the Chargers. That means that he probably might not string together any long possessions here and there. He's not a veteran quarterback who's going to be out there stringing together 10-minute drives. So what does that mean for me? That there's going to be more offensive opportunities that the Raiders will have, which means that there should be more pass attempts for O'Connell. Now, do I want to bet on the fact that O'Connell's completing all his passes or he's throwing for 250 plus yards? Not necessarily. I do think that he has the ability to get over this total of 30.5. It's a pretty low total. Like I said, he's gone over it several times, and especially against this Chargers team, that's where the weakness lies in this defense. And for this Raiders team to win today, they're going to have to be able to exploit that. So let's go with Aiden O'Connell over 30.5 pass attempts as the first best bet of the day. Now, for our second best bet of the day, I'm going to go stay in this game, and I'm going with the same game parlay, really a same person parlay. And I'm going to take Austin Eckler for 4+ receptions, and I'm parlaying that for him to get 39 rushing yards. That gets you to minus 105 odds, okay? Like I just mentioned, Easton Stick is going to be going for the Chargers today. He's going to be the quarterback, I guess, for the foreseeable future. I don't know how long Justin Herbert's out with that finger injury, but this Chargers offense is decimated with injuries. We saw Mike Williams go down at the beginning of the year, so he's been out all year, one of their star wide receivers. Keenan Keenan Allen, their other star wide receiver, truthfully their best position player on the offensive side of the ball, he's been ruled out for this game, right? And so because of that, it's like, who else is going to ball for the Chargers? And that means that it has to fall on Austin Eckler at this point, because I mean, he's the only other guy that they really have who can really turn up at any time and can really take the game into their hands. Easton Stick, when he did come into the game against the Broncos, he was impressive. They still lost that game, you know, pretty handily. I think it was 24-7 was the final score of that one. But when you look at Austin Eckler, he's been pretty decent this year for the Chargers. He's averaging 49.7 yards per carry on the ground, and then he's also averaging 3.6 receptions per game. So we're hovering right around these numbers right here on this parlay. But when you look at the Vegas defense, their opportunity lies in their run defense. Their pass defense is pretty strong, middle of the pack. I think it's like top 15 in the NFL, but their run defense is the 8th worst run defense in the NFL. That is how you take advantage of this team. In their first matchup back on October 1st, Austin Eckler didn't play in that game. Backup running back Joshua Kelly was the starter there, and he ran for 65 yards on 17 carries, and the entire team ran for 155 yards. When I think about that today, I think that's where the opportunity lies for this Chargers offense to exploit against this Raiders defense. Now, like I mentioned, Austin Eckler did not play in that first game against the Raiders, but he gets his shot at them today, and his rushing yard line is at 49.5. I do like that as a single play as well. If you want to take that as a single play, you don't want to do the parlay, go for it. But the reason why I'm throwing the receptions in there is because I think there's a lot of opportunities when you have a young rookie quarterback, when you have somebody who doesn't have a lot of playing time experience. I love to exploit the angle that the young quarterbacks look for their checkdowns. They're not going through all their progressions. They're going for the quick little hitter when the pass rush is running on them. So when Max Crosby is rushing stick today, I like the fact that he's going to find Austin Eckler in the flat. And I also think that the play calling today is going to be a lot of screen passes, a lot of quick passes. So this way, Stick can get into a rhythm. He can get his confidence, which means Austin Eckler is going to be involved in that matchup. Austin Eckler last week, he had 5 receptions on 7 targets. So that's what I'm looking for again today. And he's had at least 4 receptions in 6 of the 10 games this year. So because of that, I think there's a few different ways that you can handicap this game, and I gave you 2 picks. One on the Raiders side, one on the Chargers side. Another angle that I want to give you like a little bonus play, the line hasn't come out just yet. You may want to take a look at Easton Stick's rushing yards as well when that drops. If it's around 12.5, 13.5, 14.5, you know, I would take that for sure. Why? Because when you look at Easton Stick, he didn't run the ball a lot last week, but that's because they were down, right? He had to throw the ball. But when you think about if in a full game, he's going to get pressured by this Raiders pass rush, he's going to have to scramble. And when you look at some of his numbers when he was at North Dakota State, he was a running quarterback. He was a dual threat quarterback. So that's something to keep in mind as well. I do think the opportunity to take Easton Stick's rushing yards will be there. The line just hasn't come out at the time of recording, so make sure you guys are tracking that throughout the day. You might want to add that as a late night play as well there on the Thursday night football matchup. Those are 2 bets for you right there in the Thursday night football matchup. Let's head over to the NBA hardwood. I've only got 1 best bet in the NBA today, and I'm going to go with the Clippers, and I'm going to go with the first half spread, -2.5. The only book right now that has it out is PointsBet. I got it at -120, but you know, wait till DraftKings, FanDuel, all the other books, sports books puts it up. Shop around there to get the best value. I really like this Clippers matchup today, okay? The Clippers have been on fire. They kind of figured it out there since the James Harden trade. I know they sucked at first, but they're kind of figuring it out. They've won 5 in a row, 7 of their last 10. Absolutely love to see it. But do you know why they've been winning those games? It's because of their defensive intensity. They've been absolutely on fire on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, all the guys are healthy. They're all playing well together. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook. Obviously, Harden's there. You got Zubac clogging up the middle there. I love what this team can bring to the table. And now when you've got the turmoil surrounding this Warriors team, because we've got another Draymond Green distraction going on here, what are they going to look like? How are they going to come out? But the biggest thing with that Draymond Green suspension, they're obviously used to playing without him at this point. I mean, Draymond Green's always getting himself into some trouble, but at the same time, he plays a critical role in that offense. And I think this year, Draymond Green's role in that offense is bigger than ever, not only because he plays that point forward role for them, but because of the lack of shooting that Klay Thompson's been able to provide for the Warriors. And because of that, I think that this offense is just going to be a little bit disrupted today. And if they're disrupted, they're going to start off a little slow against the Clippers team that's really strong in the first half, really strong at home as well, especially on the defensive side of the ball. The Clippers are 7th in the league in first half margin. They're winning the first half on average by close to 3 points. So guess what? All we need them is to win the first half by 3 points. I love that, right? And then now when you keep in mind that they're the second strongest first half scoring defense in all the league, they're only giving up about 53 points per game. I love to see that. Meanwhile, Golden State, on the other hand, they give up about 56 points per game in the first half. So there's our 3-point margin right there. So like I said, for me, I think this is a matchup where the Clippers are going to come out. I like them to cover the 5.5 full game spread. spread, but I think this is a game where they're going to set the tone defensively to start. The Warriors are not going to be as fast of a paced team. They haven't been as fast of a paced team this year in general, but with Draymond not being in the lineup to play that point forward role, I think that affects them as well. If Chris Paul ends up starting or comes off the bench and is playing significant minutes, he's also a little bit of a slower type of point guard, and I think that plays into the hand of the Clippers defense more than it does it benefits the Warriors. I think the Warriors, if they're trying to beat this Clippers team, you have to get out in transition. You have to get them before they set up that defense. But once Paul George, Kawhi get locked into their stance, it gets really hard for them there. I think the Clippers are going to jump out to a quick lead in this matchup just based on how strong they've been over the last few days and what's going on there with that Warriors organization. So let's go Clippers first half, -2.5. I also like the overall under in this game as well, as the Clippers are 1-8 to the under this year at home. So I also like that as well. So there's a few trends for you. All right, my friends? 3 best bets for you on this Thursday night. We need a sweep. I gave you 2 NFL plays because those have been doing better for us inside the Discord group. So make sure you guys click that link in the bio and join the free group, so this way you guys get some other picks and plays that we're dropping. We're going to turn the ship around. We still have a few more weeks in the month of December, so hang with me, guys. And we also got the NBA Christmas slate too, so don't forget about that. We're going to go crazy. I'll probably give you like 5 bets that day. All right, my friends? So stick with me. We'll turn it around. 3 best bets on this Thursday night matchup. Aiden O'Connell over 30.5 pass attempts. Austin Eckler for 4+ receptions and 39 rush yards. A same game parlay there, and then we're going Clippers first half spread -2.5, and that'll tuck us in late night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be celebrating some more victories, some more wins, and as always, dictate your fate, and I'll see you in the next one. Later, guys.